there is a much greater force trying to communicate with you. That's right. Your higher self is constantly sending signals, and you might not be paying attention. Isn't it curious? While most people go through life without noticing these messages, you have the chance to uncover this mystery. However, unlike other channels, we have an understanding that differs from many other spiritual channels on this same topic, as we are influenced by Spiritism. Therefore, we would appreciate your attention and also your opinion in the comments if this content makes sense to you and if it resonates with your inner self and intention in any way. Remember, you are not just a spectator, but a protagonist in the transformation of your life and the lives of others. For this reason, feel free to comment and engage in a healthy discussion about this in the section. Your opinion is very important to us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications so you can continue receiving high vibrational content in your life. Alright. Finally, we see many channels saying that these communication signals come from a version of you as if it were a version of ours from a multiverse. However, we don't understand it exactly this way, and there are many more aspects involved in these signals than just a version of ourselves trying to send us a message. So, watch until the end, as I guarantee this content will provide you with a perspective you may have never heard before. But first, you need to understand a bit about time from our perspective. The concept of time that many of us know can be quite limited. We imagine the future as something unknown and the past as something untouchable. However, the reality is a bit more complex. The future, in fact, has already happened. It might sound strange, but think about it. All our future or past choices, whether in this life or in other dimensions in the spiritual world, have already been made. What we are living now is a direct consequence of those decisions, which, of course, doesn't mean we have lost our free will. It's as if all of us, at the exact moment we were created as spirits, had already lived all our reincarnations in the blink of an eye. Because time is relative and also because we are gods created by the uncreated God. The past, present, and future are happening simultaneously, and our perception of being present only here is just an illusion. When we talk about our higher self, we are referring to some future version of ourselves that has access to the past and, for some reason, is observing and guiding us. To better understand this, remember the film Interstellar, if you have seen it. If not, we recommend watching it to better grasp what we are saying. There is a scene near the end of the film where the protagonist tries to communicate with his daughter in the past and also sees his future self, but he cannot change the fall of the book from the shelf, which suggests that it was the future self who caused it. The past self does not know this, only the future self does, and this is how your future self, which is our higher self, might be communicating with you. Our higher self can access the past, but it cannot change it, because everything it does in another dimension, it has already done. This explains how the future influences the past and the past also influences the future. Yes, we understand that it is difficult to comprehend and you might have many questions, but think about it more calmly later. Also, feel free to go back to this video as many times you want in order to understand this concept better. What we call synchronicities relates to all of this. Synchronicities are like little hints from the universe, showing that everything is interconnected. Déjà vu, for example, is a clear sensation that you have already lived that moment, as if you are tuned into something that your higher self has already experienced in the future. For example, in the Bible, we see instances of apostles who had visions about what was to come. A notable example is the Apostle John, who wrote the book of Revelation. His visions described events that many believe are linked to future global occurrences, such as wars and catastrophes. Another example is the prophet Daniel, whose visions included predictions about empires and historical figures that would arise long after his time, such as the Babylonian, Medo-Persian, and Roman empires. Beyond biblical visions, other prophets throughout history also left records of predictions that came true. Nostradamus, for instance, made forecasts about events like the French Revolution and the rise of Napoleon, which proved accurate in many respects. Baba Vanga, known for her predictions about natural disasters and political events, foresaw the collapse of the Soviet Union and the September 11th attacks, events that deeply marked the 20th century. Many of these prophecies were not random forecasts but rather access to a dimension where the future had already happened. They were in tune with that timeline or were even spiritually transported to other dimensions where they could access the future. As in higher dimensions, access to both the past and future is possible. Déjà vu, for example, is a clear sensation that you have already lived that moment, as if you are tuned into something that your higher self has already experienced in the future. Déjà vu is a clear sign that this concept of time and everything we are discussing fits perfectly. In fact, if you've had a déjà vu while watching this video, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. This could mean that you found a channel that resonates with you, and perhaps it is your own higher self notifying you about it. Who knows? It might be the most likely sign coming from your higher self. However, unlike other channels, I can say that these signals may not only be from your higher self but also from friendly spirits who guide us on our journey. It could be your spiritual mentor, your guide, your guardian, regardless of the term you use. These spirits are our friends or relatives from past lives who are more evolved at this moment and have agreed to guide us through life's journey. For those who are more sensitive, you might have already felt presences, while others might experience messages through repeated numbers when checking the time. Others might feel a refreshing breeze or a different air passing through you that conveys positive energy. Even if there is no cold draft to account for it, there may also be pops or sounds in the walls that could indicate the presence of these spirits. But it's not possible to say definitively that all these signs are related to your higher self. What we can say is that déjà vu or intuition are the most likely ways for your higher self to communicate with you. The former shows that everything that has happened so far is aligned with your path, and the latter guides you on where you should go. Despite all this, we must not forget that we are constantly surrounded by spirits around us, whether of high vibration or dense vibration, and you will connect with them depending on your current vibrational pattern. The truth is, if you want to connect more with your higher self and be in synchronicity with the universe, a conscious effort is necessary to align your mind, actions, and habits with something greater. Everything needs to be coherent, which is why self-awareness is so important in this process. When you act with coherence, saying and doing what truly resonates with your deepest desires, the universe starts sending you signals. It's like tuning an antenna to the right station. Consider simple habits, such as daily meditation, practicing gratitude, and even the choice of words you use in your daily life. Each of these actions contributes to a stronger connection. A good example is when you commit to changing a negative pattern, such as stopping complaining or doubting your abilities. Gradually, you'll notice that the more you maintain this coherence, the more things seem to flow. This synchronicity is not just coincidence. It's a sign that you are in alignment with your higher self. Small actions, such as developing the habit of making positive affirmations or dedicating a few minutes of your day to reflection, can open doors to deep insights. It is in these moments that you begin to perceive the presence of your higher self guiding you. The more you align yourself, the easier it becomes to pick up these messages. It could be a sudden idea that appears in your mind or even an unexpected solution to a problem you were facing. The important thing is to be open and willing to listen, without being swayed by doubt. This communication becomes clearer when you adjust your thoughts and feelings to be in harmony with the universe, where all the answers are already waiting, and thus, you will be ready to understand the signals your higher self is trying to send you. Now, take some time to reflect on the content we've shared with you. Share it in your spiritual groups or with a friend, and give a like if this video has been helpful to you. Remember, you are a protagonist, not just a spectator here, and by doing this, you will help this message reach others as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. With all my heart, I bless you.